Hello YouTubers and fellow aviators. Well, some days you just feel like putting the flying syllabus away and going for a Joyflight. So today I take my instructor for a fly around the scenic Kangaroo Valley and down along the Shoalhaven River. Along the way we visit Jaspers Brush airstrip for a touch and go before heading back home. Although it's a Joyflight, you never stop learning, and in particular today we talk about the dangers of flying in and out of valleys, as well as the use of the Ballistic parachute recovery system which we have installed on this plane. Masters on, avionics on, log fuel, engine start time. Got all those details, Bruce?
37553. Yeah, okay.
Avionics off?
Yep.
Alright, brakes are on. Fuel is on. Throttle is set as required, so it's probably needs a bit of choke, I guess.
It should be right without it, I think.
Yeah, so just crack it a little bit.
A little bit of throttle.
Magnetos are both on, left and right. Avionics check off. Look out. Alright, clear prop. Hands on throttle. And start. Smooth idle. Avionics on. Check for oil pressure. Alright, where is the oil pressure here? So that's in the green. Intercom radio. Switches, transponder, strobe, com, transponder. Do we need the strobe on?
There you go.
Yep. Reading, how are you reading me, Bruce? Testing 1, 2, 3. Why is this pretty quiet in my ears again? Oh, I think that's all the way up.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2. Okay, maybe just a bit closer. That's better. Where are we up to? Intercom check operation. Have to start intercom radio. Other revs a bit higher. Radio 127.3. And should we have that area frequency for once we get to Kangaroo Valley? 121.2? Or would you have that on narrow CTAF?
Just stay on the CTAF.
On Wollongong CTAF?
Wollongong traffic, Quarry Uniform November Lima, is with Island 1500. We're tracking now to overfly Shoalhaven City 1500, one right hand orbit, then tracking southbound for Kiama, not above 1500.
Radio transponder, press standby. Takes a while to come up, does it?
Well, traffic Dutchess Red, Mike India is overhead the field 4300. We'll be tracking out to the east on descent to 2200, and we'll call again inbound Wollongong.
Alright. Brakes are working.
Wollongong traffic, Juliet Hotel Whiskey at Charlie, taxiing runway 34 Wollongong.
People use it 3-4.
They are, yep.
Got a bit of a crosswind there.
Traffic Wollongong, the Lake Road 4205, turning base 34, full stop, Wollongong.
What is that red thing flying around? Is that a grob, did he say?
Allegro.
A what?
An Allegro. It's a
Italian or something?
Fantasy Air, and I go Italian. I think Fantasy Air, Italian, or it might be Czechoslovakian. Nice little storm there too. They're fairly rare. The low wing storm.
Oh yeah. Like it's in good nick.
Yeah, home built. You got to build it yourself. Yeah, they're not a bad aircraft, the Allegro. They're not really a rough weather aircraft though. They're very, very light wing loading, a bit like the Foxbat. Lands at about 25 knots though with full flap. So get it in out of a pretty short strip.
Might be giving him a bit of a workout. Right. Brake is on. Pre-takeoff checks. Location is suitable. Aircraft orientation is okay. Guess the Haas is kind of closed. Park brake is on. Controls full and free. Correct sense. Yoke left, left arm up, right one down, right one up, left one down. Up, elevator down. Trim, check operation and set neutral. Where's the trim here? Trim down, stick back, trim up.
Traffic 1 on Pilot Sport 7544 is requesting a radio check. 5x5.
And trim back to neutral.
We are very close though.
True, we are.
Okay, trim.
Traffic Wollongong, Allegro 4205, clear of all
Flaps,
runways,
check operation.
Wollongong.
So flap down one stage, flap down two stage. Back up. Fuel is on. Quantity, where are you again? And where everything is. Fuel
Line that's
quantity.
straight up and down like a thermometer.
Whereabouts? Yeah, okay. So we've got 62%. So we use about 14 litres. What's the capacity? About 50.
So you got more than half, so at the sort of revs we'll be doing, 2 hours worth.
Okay, so plenty of fuel there. Instrument panel, perform flow scan. So airspeed is indicating 0. The attitude indicator is good, balls in the middle. The altimeter is probably a little bit high. Set that to 40 feet. RPM is good, flight time vario is good, trim is good. We'll look at the engine instruments. We're on the right frequency and we are transponding 1200 standby. Master avionics, both mags are on. All looks pretty good. Alright, engine checks, run up. We want to be 3,500.
Right, Terry, Justice Red Mike India, 5 miles to the east on descent through 1,600. And we'll be joining downwind for runway 34, making full stop Wollongong.
Alright, 3,500, check mags, max drop 300. Got 100 drop there, back up. Right mag, 100 drop, back up. Oil pressure is in the green, oil temperature is above 50. The EGT1 is really, really high there.
EGT1's faulty, so it's supposed to be placarded out.
The rest are good, faults are good, CHTs are all good. And we could probably check the...
And Wollongong traffic, change your distance. Justice Red Mike India is tracking for a base, runway 34, full stop Wollongong.
And it is low and stable, 1700 is good for an idle. Around 180.
Yeah, after you check the idle, yeah, just take it up to around that's it, 2000.
Alright, oil temperature is above 50 degrees, which I already checked. Checks, complete set takeoff configuration, fuel is on, quantity, we've got half a tank. Flaps up for take, oh no, they're down one, aren't they? Down one stage.
Yep.
Occupants, hatches are closed. Harnesses, you're all good there, Bruce. Briefing, we'll take off 3-4. We want to probably track just over up there, Saddleback Mountain, Kangaroo. So we depart downwind 3-4. Climb up to, what, 3,000 or something?
Yeah, a bit more. 3.5 on at least to get over there.
Okay. And we have an engine fail. We've got some options straight ahead to the left and then to the right. If crosswind, we're on crosswind, we should be able to come back to the airport. Trim set to neutral for takeoff, and transponder is 1200 and on.
Wollongong traffic, Juliet Hotel Whiskey, crossing runway 0826. Wollongong.
No one's on 26.
Yeah, quite likely they are with the wind like that, isn't it?
Anyone?
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495 is crossing runway 0826. Wollongong.
That taxiway open there now? Or?
It's blocked off right up the end.
But you can backtrack all the way now?
Yes.
Wollongong traffic, Dutcher 3 Mike India is now base 34 full stop Wollongong.
Having a bit of trouble with the radio.
And you got me 5s there now, mate?
Yeah, you're good there now.
Yeah. Start's going on.
Hit it.
You like to have your toes on the bar there rather than up here, or?
No, I put my heels down flat like that, just rest them comfortably, yeah, just use it like that. There's no brakes or anything, so it's not like, you know, with the sitar barriers and things like that where you've got to keep off the brakes. So you just make it comfortable for yourself.
How's the squealing going with the radio? Is it still?
It's all fixed. No,
what was the problem there?
I think it might have just been a connection problem at the back. We had it out a few times and reseated, and I did a reset on all the settings as well, and it's all okay.
Whiskey lining up runway 34 Wollongong.
Alright, straight in approach runway 34 Wollongong.
Was only doing.
7544 is taxiing the holding point 34 Wollongong.
What's this? Is this the holding point now here, or?
Yeah, it's not marked at the moment. It is marked, but it's hard to see. It's right out near where he is.
I can just come in a bit, or?
If you're waiting for him, you can pretty much line up. Otherwise, you can go over there a bit to let if there's anyone else come through.
Tabia Foxtrot Yankee X-ray. 3 nautical mile to the north, 3,000 feet on descent.
I can line up.
34 Wollongong.
Yeah, once he's gone, no one else coming.
Hotel Whiskey, entering rolling runway 34 for circuit Wollongong.
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495 is entering and lining up runway 34. Wollongong.
Right, now on a final.
Again, Adam.
Yeah, Ram Mike India is clear of all runways Wollongong.
Yeah, sounds better.
Yeah, what's going on?
Alright, vital checks. Fuel is on, flaps are set to takeoff, trim is neutral. Wind, we've got a crosswind, so we'll put the stick to the left. We're good to go.
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495. It's rolling runway 34, downwind departure, Wollongong.
Alright, preload a little bit.
Yeah, just a touch.
Alright, full power.
7544 is entering, lining up, holding runway 34.
Wollongong traffic, Quarry uniform November
Alright,
Lima,
we're going to push
establishment
for
5 mile
65,
final,
isn't it,
runway
Bruce?
34 Wollongong.
No, you want 60, 65, yeah.
Okay.
That looks pretty right. Perfect.
Yeah,
You're holding straight by just having your left wing down a bit, so just turn a little bit to the left Then put the wings level.
7544 is rolling runway 34.
That's it. And so we got some drift because of the crosswind.
Right, flaps are up. And we can... Now do I have to reduce the RPMs a little bit?
Yeah, if you pull it back a bit now, and you can turn onto crosswind, but just slow down.
Turn on now?
Yeah, we'll turn before the houses, but we got the other Cherokee there to stay behind.
We got someone coming in there too, actually.
Yeah. Keep an eye on him. He's supposed to give way to you, but don't trust him.
Because he hasn't joined the circuit.
Foxtrot Yankee X-ray on downwind runway 34.
Okay, that's Satabu just...
traffic turning downwind visual.
Alright, we'll
traffic wire uniform November Lima, 3
continue
miles
climbing.
runway 34, we'll go.
Continue climbing.
Foxtrot Yankee X-ray up for 8495, also on crosswind. We're just climbing up through 1200 to clear you. And also have your visual.
Traffic Wollongong, Pattern Sport 79024. Overhead best point 2500. Descending to 1500. Inbound ETA 3 minutes Wollongong.
Wollongong traffic Alpha 8495, departing crosswind, passing 1600, climbing to 3000, tracking towards Bass Point, Wollongong. Correction, tracking down towards the south.
Traffic out to Juliet, Hotel Whiskey, change intentions. Turning towards the field from a mid-downwind through 1500, tracking to the west.
Traffic wire uniform November Lima, 1 mile final runway 34, full stop, we'll go.
Alright, engine T's and P's are in the green. Bolts are okay. And we're cruise climbing here at 90 knots or something.
Yeah, that's comfortable.
So if I think we aim over there, top of Saddleback Mountain, that should take us to Kangaroo Valley.
Yep, you can see Knight's Hill, you can see the towers there. If you split the difference, that'll take you through, yep.
So we're above circuit height, 2,500, so we can turn onto track. That's not too bad.
Traffic Wollongong, Carberry Foxtrot Yankee X-ray, turn base, runway 34 for a full stop Wollongong.
So cruise climb is it, what is it in this again?
What speed? Yeah, 90 knots is alright, it gives you good visibility.
Power.
Maximum continuous is 5,500, but if you got about 2/3 throttle there, so that's okay.
I thought it would be a bit bumpy today, but
that's still okay at the moment. But
wait till we hit the escarpment.
yeah.
Wollongong traffic wire uniform November Lima is clear for runway Wollongong.
Throttle still keeps creeping off?
It should. It's falling back a bit, is it?
Unless it's the airspeed. Maybe I've just slowed down a little bit. There's one good thing about flying out of Camden, I don't think I've felt a bump in the sky yet.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a different world, isn't it?
Alright, 336, 37?
Yeah, that
What do you
it should be enough.
Alright, top climb, pump it off, it's not applicable. And we will reduce the power
Back to about 5,000, no more than that.
Parachuting aircraft, Wollongong area was it? This is helicopter lifesaver 2-1.
So wings level, see how we're
2 nautical miles
we sort
to
of
the north.
keep twisting off to the right.
1,500
You need some
inbound
left rudder, don't
Wollongong
you, just to straighten it up.
circuit area at time 14.
Must have a heavy right
Your
foot.
position, sir?
It may be this plane that doesn't self-center the rudder. So you just take your feet completely off the rudder. See, if it wants to turn one way, just give it a bit of a prod on the left.
Information, sir. We'll see you shortly in the circuit area. 14. We'll be joining downwind for runway 34. Then probably ops off 26, and we'll be operating
to the west of the flight strip at all times. Lifesaver 21, thanks.
Traffic Wollongong, Pata Sport 7924, overflying airfield at 1500, descending on the dead side. You'll join midfield crosswind 34 shortly, Wollongong.
Traffic Wollongong, Papa Sport 7544 is currently overhead the airfield, 3000, and we're on climb and departing to the west for Mittagong. And well clear, traffic Wollongong, have a good day.
That guy you just read?
Yeah, that's the guy I was just talking to.
The guy just over there.
Traffic Wollongong, Foxtrot Yankee X-ray, clear of all runways.
What, over near the escarpment?
He's fairly low. I just see him just flying around that little ridge.
Oh, just down here. Yeah, that's that. That's probably that Cherokee called earlier. Said he was going out to the west at 1500. Yeah, that'd be him.
Traffic Wollongong, Papa Sport 7924, joining midfield crosswind 34 Wollongong.
The Wollongong Westerlies.
Yeah. So if it starts getting too rough, what do you do? Just
What?
slow down a bit. If it starts getting too rough, you just back off.
What's the VA or
86
turbulation
on there? The VA is 86. But the other thing is keep climbing with it, see, because you're fairly close to the edge here. If you just keep going up a bit,
might smooth out a bit?
yeah, you might get up above it.
Probably just this ridge too.
Yeah.
But I guess we're going to be flying all around there.
But once you get up, you'll be right. Saddle back, I don't know, you probably you done bushwalking up here? Do you know the area up on the top there?
Oh, look, I know the area, but not intimately. I've got a friend who's got a property just down there, I think, in that little cleared strip there.
Oh yeah,
Just down there. And yeah, obviously this is Jamboree Road up through here somewhere.
34 full stop Wollongong.
But what's the story with the ballistic parachute recovery system in terms of?
Yeah, just bring your power back to about 5 now.
In terms of usage and.
You want to stop the engine, obviously. So let's just get that thing trimmed again. See, so put the wings level, right wing down a little bit, and then it needs a good bit of left rudder.
Not that much.
And then take your foot off it.
Yeah, because I don't feel like I'm putting much pressure, but you have to forcefully centre it.
Yeah, if you don't come back to the centre after you turn, it can be just hanging just slightly off centre. That's pretty good there now. There's a couple of private strips here. See the paddocks down here, the one on the right hand side, see that big long straight tree line?
Yep, just next to it.
Yeah, that's his strip, runs along the side of that. And then there's another one over here, you can just see a bit cut up into the trees, going right out near the edge. Yeah, that's the second little private strip. Not as long as this one, this is a longer one.
Are you allowed to land on those?
I know the guy that owns that one, and he'd be happy to let me land there. It's a little bit tricky. It's got the trees up the other end. Any sort of westerly like this now, you get some turbulence coming up out of the mountain, and then you come in over the trees. Landing up this way is not quite so bad. Most of the time he lands that way and takes off this way.
Regard to Juliet, Hotel Whiskey is 3 miles to the west of the field on a sensor.
Alright, we want to think about radio frequencies.
So we're, I guess we're getting out of that 10 nautical mile range, so we switch over to...
That traffic joining overhead 34. Lifesaver 21, we're just about to turn downwind. Runway 34, and we're just abeam the tanks and the upper power outlooks there, just to the north. Lifesaver 21.
He's a bit talkative, that bloke.
Having a good look out for you, we're still...
So we'll switch over to narrow
CTAF. Flick it across now.
Lifesaver 21.
We try and pick up some Jaspers Brush comp.
No, it'll be on this CTAF. That's what it'll be on.
Oh, they won't be on Unicom?
No.
Why is that?
Because they're in the narrow CTAF.
Oh, okay. So if you're within like 10 nautical miles of another CTAF,
you operate on that. Yep.
Okay.
But and I guess when Nara's active though, what are they operating on, or they're not allowed to?
They can't operate, but you would still be on the same frequency. Just be careful. You see your speed, you're right up on the top of the limit. If it starts to get rough, be ready to back off.
The cruise is really close to that yellow band.
It's a slippery aircraft. Yep, and it'll pick speed up quite quickly. You know, you've only got to nose down slightly or get into a bit of good air, and it'll. But its normal cruise is 105 knots there. Right up on the top of the green, basically.
So that kind of bumps is basically where it's getting rough and you want to reduce it?
You just want to make sure you're not up in the yellow zone if you start hitting turbulence.
Yeah.
According to the manufacturer, their turbulence speed they quote as VNO, which is 108 knots, top of the green.
Yeah.
Just remember though, your VA is only 86, so if it's getting pretty rough and you're doing that sort of speed, just don't start manhandling the stick around.
Yeah. Or the rudder.
Or the rudder, yeah. There's the township just down there.
I got it.
Yeah. The dam will be over the ridge, over the back, isn't it?
Probably just north of or directly west of the township there.
Is that the Shoal? That's not the Shoalhaven there though. That's.
It is the Tallowa Dam is on the Shoalhaven.
Yeah, but that's not the Shoalhaven there, is it? I think it's isn't it over the next.
Yeah.
Over the
I think
next
it's
ridge.
beyond that little.
Yeah, that's a Kangaroo.
Yeah.
Is it Kangaroo?
Reservoir or some sort of reservoir.
What's the name of the river?
I'm not
Kangaroo
sure.
River. When all else fails, technology will tell us.
Don't get the map out.
Yeah. Kangaroo River, yep.
And it's just the Tallowa Dam is just pretty much west of the township. You follow that valley, and then obviously that next valley runs down to Nara there.
Town there, and the dam's over here.
Yep.
If you follow the river up, that's interesting. It must be on the. Yeah, the Kangaroo River comes and meets the Shoalhaven up there.
So that's Nara over there, and that big cleared patch, the airfield.
Yes.
So CHTs are getting pretty low.
Yeah, that's normal. The oil's a bit okay. But
PGTs are good. Feels good. Radio is good. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, there's no one flying down this.
Be on the right frequency?
Yeah, 11885, that's correct. What you can do to check, because they've got an AFRA unit on their CTAF, is you can do a broadcast that your overhead Kangaroo Valley Township tracking west 3,700.
So is that just Melbourne Centre?
No, that's on 11885. That's the CTAF.
So Nara CTAF.
Yeah. So Nara traffic.
Yep.
Same as in Wollongong. Nara traffic Alpha 85.
Yep. No worries. Nara traffic Alpha 8.95 overhead Kangaroo Valley 3,700 tracking west. Nara.
Nara CTAF.
There you go. We're on the right frequency and our radio works.
Okay. I might just come round to the right here and have a look. Yeah, so I'm up here for a family weekend away.
Yeah,
bringing the wife.
Caravan park or?
No, we've got a B&B, so got a bringing the wife and
the
daughter and my mum and dad. So.
Good.
Yeah, just.
Do you know where it is?
What, the B&B?
The place, yeah.
No idea.
Right.
But I thought it'd be interesting to come and do a bit of a fly over here.
Check it out, yeah.
Have a look.
That's the main road in, and it goes up, climbs up the ridge there up to Fitzroy Falls.
Yeah, or you can come, we've got a couple of entry and exit points here. But I think we're going to come from Berryway because I think my mum wants to do the shops at Berry.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little run actually. You come up the mountain, up over the from Berry. There's used to be a lot of tall timber down there, some old, I don't know what they are, red gums or something. But
well, we don't have any choice because I saw on the way down the Macquarie Pass is closed all this week, so we're heading up on Thursday and coming back Saturday. So I got soccer next Saturday, but got injured, so that's why I'm flying today. I need a...
done the cartilage already, have you?
Oh, no, the calf. I mean, I'm 41. It's the first game I've missed this season. That's a pretty good effort.
Yeah.
I went for a jog this morning and it was okay, but probably not match ready.
Yeah.
You can hear those revs coming off a bit.
Yeah, is it just backing off a bit by itself, is it?
I think so, yeah. Well, I'm always having to push it forward.
Okay, we'll have to tighten it up again. It lasts for a while and then it seems to start to get... Yeah, it could be. It's not all that tight there.
Guess we're flying into the westerly too here.
Yeah, you got a ground speed of 73 knots at the moment. 20 knot. You've got 20 knot headwind.
That's why we're going.
Yeah.
So tell me, Bruce, about some of the dangers of flying into valleys. Like, how low would you descend down here on a day like today and on a calm day?
Well, the weather makes a big difference, especially in the mountains. Turbulence is much more of an issue, and if you're down low,
they'll be rough as guts down low.
It depends where it's coming from. Depends on the direction. Yeah. Coming straight down the valley, sometimes not so bad. Coming across the ridges, you'll find you get usually quite a bit of rotor on one side and downdraft, and on the other side is better, you'll get the updraft. So what you have to do then is you work out which side of the valley you want to fly up. Sometimes it's better to go across the other side of the valley.
So if the wind's coming from the northwest,
coming this way, yeah,
so we want to be
usually favour that side. You'd find it's more likely to be an updraft on this side and downdraft over this side.
You don't mind a bit of turbulence, but you don't want to be in the downdraft. So what about actually descending down into the valley?
Yeah, you can descend down. Keep an eye on you. Always have an escape path.
Yep.
Always make sure you can turn around to go back, especially if you're flying into any and you get those strong downdrafts. You don't want to be caught and can't outclimb it.
So they typically say fly parallel or at an angle to the ridgeline?
Well, if you're going up the valley, yeah, you've got to be flying parallel to it, but you always, when you go up a valley, you never fly up the middle, unless it's a really big super wide one like this, but typically you're always going up one side because you want to maximise your turn radius.
Yeah.
The first time you go up, what everyone does is go up the middle.
Yeah.
And then you realise if you want to turn, you've only got half the valley width.
Well, that's where a bit of aerobatics and doing wingovers, if you ever got really stuck.
You could. There's a thing called sometimes called a box turn or a blind valley turn, where it's a bit like that. They pull up into a steep turn and then up and over to come back down again. But you shouldn't ever have to do that. The first thing to do is slow down.
Yeah, minimise your turn rate.
Exactly. Yep. And you can, in one of these, at 70 knots, you can turn in the width of the river almost. You only need a couple of 100 metres.
Yeah, I guess it's more of an issue when you're in a...
And you can one way, or I use, I don't know if it's a valid technique, but how do you know whether you're going to make it around or not? If you usually the valley floor or the river's about in the centre of the valley, you're going up the side, you start your turn. If I haven't got to at least 90 degrees by the time I'm crossing that midpoint, I may not be going to make it. Again, it depends on your drift, whether you're drifting back into the wind because you want to turn into the wind wherever you can, or something like that. And then you might decide, pull out, we'll try again. Never fly up a valley you haven't flown down before.
Never fly up a valley.
Because coming down, it's descending. You got your ground's descending.
Yep.
So if you get into trouble, it's normally not such an issue. But if you go up the valley the first time, and then the ground's going up as you're flying up it, you get into downdraft or blind valley, you can get yourself boxed in. You can't turn around.
going up into a valley?
Yeah, so you're flying up the valley and
so it
find
gets narrow space.
And rising terrain.
Yeah, rising terrain, yeah, okay.
Especially in more mountainous country. Like here we don't really have mountains, but up in, Canada, America, up in the high ground there, you might be up at 12,000 feet. So your performance is already right on the edge.
Alright, let's have a look at the map. Tallowa Dam is off to the left here. So just to see where the other river joins, breaks into two. And Tallowa Dam's off to the left there.
This one or that one? I thought it was...
Yeah, so it breaks off up here.
Yeah.
Then Tallowa Dam's on the left. Slowly descending.
Yeah, where are your emergency landing options around here?
Probably back at Kangaroo
Behind
Valley.
us, that's right. And you'd have the wind behind you.
Yep.
And we've only just passed them back there. From this height, we'd get back to them easily. Down there, not many options except the trees. The fire trails, sometimes there's places where they get quite wide, and sometimes you can pick a spot on a fire trail where you'd be able to get down in between the trees to land there.
So if you're over in tow country and you have an inch phone in this plane, do you pull the chute?
This is where the chute becomes a big factor to consider.
Whereas if you're got a
if I was stuck over country like this, yeah, I would seriously look at using the chute.
If we had one now, would you head back to Kangaroo Valley?
Yeah,
or would you use the chute?
No, I'd go back. Once you pull the chute, you have no control.
Yeah.
You've got a 20 knot wind up here.
Yeah,
we don't know how strong it is at ground level. You can be getting dragged sideways through those trees at still 20 knots.
Yeah.
We never really found out what happened, but there was a couple of guys killed up at Goulburn many years ago in a sting.
Yep.
With a parachute. They found it spread across the paddock. The parachute was out, but they don't know whether it went off when they hit.
Yep.
Or whether they decided to pull it and deploy it at the last moment. No one really knows. But they'd hit hard enough that the plane was basically broken in half and they'd both been thrown out. And I was flying back that day. I'd been through there only about half an hour before. I was coming back from Narandra. It was about 30 knot westerlies.
Yeah, right.
They should have been out of even a forced landing. Like, it was all open. The paddock they're in was just a nice open paddock.
Especially with a big westerly, I mean, your ground speed at touchdown with full flaps.
Yeah.
Even if you hit a tree, like you're doing...
Well, it was wide open paddock. They should have touched down at about 20 knots.
Yeah.
No more than that. So
40 k's an hour.
Yeah. No one really knows what went wrong, but they stuffed it up. Well, it was an engine failure, but why the landing went so wrong, no one really knows. And the coronial inquest, all they did was spend the whole time trying to crucify the importer who'd sold the plane 2 years earlier. That's it. Yep, that's your dam. So what's that the water supply for? Ara or Kangaroo Valley?
Well, I think that's all part of the Sydney catchment, I presume. I think they pump water up from there up to Sydney.
Oh, yeah, yep.
And then obviously you've got to feed some water into the Shoalhaven, so like a controlled flow. But I've done a canoe trip from Tallowa Dam all the way down to just past Coolindale and camp halfway.
Down the Kangaroo or down the Shoalhaven?
Down the Shoalhaven here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you put the boats in at the dam there.
Yep.
And you canoe along this river.
So there's fire trail access right to the...
you can drive to the dam.
Public road right to the dam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a popular picnic spot. People put in canoes and stuff like that, and then, I mean, you could do the trip in one day.
All downstream. There's nothing on the top side.
It's all downstream, but there's a bit of dragging at parts.
Yeah,
depends on how high the river is. But
yeah, it's just having a look. Looks pretty shallow in spots here.
Yeah, it's quite shallow. Certainly, you stand up in most places, and you don't want to take a
good canoe.
A good canoe.
Yeah, down there, there's quite a long stretch there, which you'd have to drag it through.
So, and then there's a campground that I quite often go to called Coolindale. You would have heard of Coolindale?
Yep.
So that's down here somewhere. You may...
That off on the left here?
It's on the right-hand side of the river.
Further down, okay.
Yeah, so
There's a place where we camp down here called Sandy Flat, so I'd be interested if I could. It might be just down here at this little junction here, I'm not sure.
There's a strip just down here. You see the...
Yeah, when we come to Coolindale, we pass it. Yeah,
yeah, it's barrier. It's a bit of private property.
Yeah.
Got a fence halfway across it. When they're going to use it, they just open the fence so they got the full strength, full length.
So you've never landed in that one either?
I've been up here. I don't know. I think we just did a low pass that day. We didn't actually land. Yeah, they had the fence across. I came up with another guy. My jabs have been up here a few times.
What, landing?
Yeah, one of the guys. There's a couple of blokes down here that are building their own, and they're mates with these guys. They live down in Nowra.
Oh, okay.
So they've come up here quite a few times. It's a reasonable length. It's 600 or 700 metres, I think, from memory.
And there's an airstrip on the map anyway, at Canberra, which I think is
over
there.
That's another private one. Been there for years, alongside near the road. I'm trying to think who used to own it. Guy, I think he was a school teacher or tech teacher. Owned it for years. Someone told me he'd sold it just recently. The bloke who had his plane on it, the new owner let him continue the use of it or something or other.
Oh, that's Coolindale down there. That's a little campground.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. Away a little bit.
A few houses up in the bush up on top of the river here too. I guess they're private houses, are they?
Must be. A good way to check out some real estate options, isn't it?
Yeah. You start flying around this area and all up around along the escarpment behind the airport and up north. There's places tucked away everywhere. Some of them are huge. You know, they're not weekenders. They've got the big circular driveways and the swimming pools and.
Oh yeah, you get a lot of wealthy people from Sydney coming up and buying hobby farms and stuff like that. So you can overfly Nowra if it's deactive?
Yeah, yep.
You just can't land there?
Correct. There's the strip. There's actually a plane outside there at the moment. See the shed? That's their hangar.
Down there, yeah. I see it into the west.
And where that, you can see the fence line that cuts across through the middle of it.
That looks like a nice strip.
Yeah, it is.
So, if you wanted to land there, you'd have to ring him up.
Yeah. I know a couple of the guys that have got their planes down there, but I'm not sure. I haven't got the owner's name. I should get in touch one day and then I can.
It'd be great to do a
get permission to come up here and land, you know.
Flight where you land in all these different strips on a nice day. And
take you on a cross country here, and the engine's just failed. Where were we going? There's a nice little paddock down there. See if you can.
Yeah, that's right.
Put it down there.
Well, there's lots of good options around here.
Yeah.
Especially into Westerly.
Oh, today, yeah. So all those fields down there. Just go around the back in that direction. Follow all the plough lines.
So, I guess at now I'm about 5 miles from this airfield, I think. So,
Jaspers?
Yeah.
Yeah, see Mount Coolangatta, and then up towards Berry. It's kind of roughly halfway in between them.
So should I give a radio call or?
Yep.
Just
5 miles southwest, 3,300 inbound.
Jaspers Brush, traffic Alpha 8495, 5 miles to the southwest, 3,300 inbound, Jaspers Brush.
Nowra, Theta.
I'd say the fact that we haven't heard anyone flying there for ages, it's probably rough as guts and they've shut down for the day. When the wind comes out of the west, they get a lot of turbulence off Camberwarra there.
Yep. So should we just overfly it?
Yeah, we'll come down to circuit height or overfly height and
so probably start coming.
Check it out. Yeah, you can start descending.
A little bit. I guess we want to be about. Oh, I don't know what the circuit height here is, do we? But I'd say a couple hundred.
Sea level. Yep. So you're looking
1,200. So we want to
about lower than 1,500.
Should we over? Yeah. So we want to still overfly it.
Yeah, stay at overfly height.
Yeah,
in case there's anyone around there, not on radio or anything. You never go through at circuit height. On the descent, Just watch your speed. This is where in this plane people get into a bit of trouble, because as soon as you nose down a bit, the thing takes off.
Yep.
I've had blokes doing 130 knots.
Yeah, right.
And they haven't ever noticed. You know, you say, what's going on here? Whoa, geez.
Yeah, I did see it. And, this is where, when you haven't flown for a while, things get complicated.
There's another little private strip down near the end of the Shoalhaven on the right. There's another guy, Jim, forgotten his surname, has got an old 182 Cessna down along here.
Oh yeah.
Near the mill. When you drive along the back road actually to, you know, that come around the back through Shoalhaven Heads, you sometimes used to see it parked out on his strip.
So it's a right-hand circuit.
224 was
left-hand, wasn't
left-hand,
it?
yeah.
It's 24, was it?
06, so 0624. So you got 06 on the nose there now.
Yep. So we're gonna, if we are gonna do, we want to. So it's a left-hand circuit, 24. So we swing around here. We can join crosswind.
Yeah. Well, in this direction, it's a right-hand circuit. Coming back, it's a left-hand circuit.
Yeah, but that one's closed straight ahead, isn't it? We want.
Get onto a heading of 06. It's the 0624 is the one you want, which
okay,
is.
So that's 24 behind us.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
with the wind the way it is today,
yeah,
06 is probably the best of the two options.
Oh, 06. Yeah. Okay.
Either way, you know, don't go below your overfly height. Just go and have a look at the windsock.
Well, wouldn't it be? I guess the wind's coming from 300. Wouldn't 24 be a better option? That makes sense. For some reason, I think west is that way. Would be that strip.
Yeah, but that one's closed.
Yeah. Oh.
1331's closed.
We're at 2,000 feet. Yeah, I think you're right. It looks like the sock is straight down. 04, was it?
06?
06.
24.
Oh, same as Camden then. That's not too bad here. Brakes testing off, engine T's and P's are in green. Fuel is on, pump is on, quantity is sufficient. Occupants, hatches and harness are secure. Well, there's the windsock. I think.
Pretty well straight across the strip, is it?
What's that?
Where's the sock?
That it there, it's just down there.
I can't see a sock.
Straight across.
Yeah, where the strips cross over. No,
looks
that's.
like, yeah, there's the sock, but.
Oh, yeah, no, slightly favouring 24, yeah.
Looks like it's fairly limp, doesn't it?
No, not really. Yeah, it's just slightly favouring 24, I'd say.
So landing this way, I would say, with a right-hand crosswind.
Yeah.
So 24 is a right-hand circuit.
That's a left-hand circuit.
Left-hand circuit, so dead side's on this.
We're on the
okay,
dead
so
side.
we want to land this way. Left-hand circuit, so we want to
bend and join crosswind.
Join crosswind up that end.
Yeah.
Got it. This is why I like to do these exercises.
Yeah, that's the only way I can figure it out. You got to look at it and go through the steps.
Yeah.
Yep. What's the runway number? What's the circuit? And then build the picture.
Jaspers Brush traffic, Alpha 8495 is overhead the field, 1,400 on descent, positioning to join crosswind runway 24, Jaspers Brush.
Nara, CSAP.
Now, what's the RPM for the circuit, roughly? 4.7 is it?
Yeah, a bit lower, 1,000. Come down to 1,000 feet.
Jaspers Brush traffic, Alpha 8495 is joining crosswind runway 24. Jaspers Brush. No one on base or downwind here. You can feel there's driftness this way as well. Oh, where are you?
Parallel there, back over that way a little.
Alright, reduce power. Slow down. Keep coming back. Wide arc. First stage of flaps, nose down. I want to maintain 65. No one there. Jaspers Brush, traffic Alpha 8495 's turning base. Runway 24. Touch and go, Jaspers Brush.
Okay, power off. As soon as you decide to go down, take the power off, otherwise you'll overspeed. See, nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up, nose up. Get it back below 70.
Yep.
Okay, good.
So that, I know the nose is a bit low, but
It won't slow down if you don't lift the nose.
Yep.
So you're over 70 again. Not like the Citabris and things, it hasn't got the built-in drag bucket that they have.
Right, line, speed, profile, so that's right off.
Yeah, I'd keep the power. You don't want any power at all, you're still high.
Up. No one on final there. So we want 60 on.
60
final
to 65, anyway. You don't want 60 till you're sort of short final.
So line's good, speed is good. Profile looks pretty good. How's that looking, Bruce?
Yep, fine.
And the wind is coming from our right. We're just going to do a low pass.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the condition of the strip. You can want to touch down if it's all in control and you want to let it touch down. You can otherwise just do a low pass.
Low pass is always fun anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, runway is clear. Got a bit of sink there.
Nice sink, yeah.
Runway's clear. We're clear to land. The wind is it's favouring this runway. Bit high again. 60. Probably a fence there, so we want to land.
Yeah, you're aiming at least 50 metres in, you're not aiming right for the beginning of it.
Right, we might straighten up now.
Grip inspection. Yep.
Full power.
Yeah, and pitch straight up, pitch up, pitch up, pitch up, pitch up, more. That's it.
You really need to add that rudder when you put the power on.
Yeah, then as soon as you feel like you're safe, you can clean up. Then you don't have to worry about the speed anymore. And when you get rid of the flaps, just knock the throttle back a little bit. That's it. So we're departing upwind, crosswind, downwind.
We'll part downwind. That's 500.
Unless you want to go via the Shoalhaven River or something, you can depart off crosswind.
Yeah, okay. Beautiful, eh?
Yeah. Nice bit of the country down here.
Jaspers Brush, traffic, Alpha 8495, departing crosswind. Runway 24, tracking towards Shoalhaven heads. Jaspers Brush.
We're off about 1500 or something, get a good view.
Right, top of the climb, pump is off. Yeah, you just got to get the throttle back right away in this thing. No?
Yeah, pretty much as soon as you level off, they are back. One of these places down here, it's got the strip. The guy's got a fox spat.
Oh yeah. So that's Coolangatta Mountain there.
Yeah.
This looks like a few nice little houses tucked in there.
Yeah, there is, and I think some of the ones along the back road here have sold up. I've read a couple of articles in some of those magazines about the designers, with their new house and the latest using corrugated iron and all this sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Funny setup here. See the river? You expect that's where the river goes out, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
It turns around. Yeah, it goes around out there.
Yeah, that's a little Timarong Island or something like that.
Yeah, that island in the middle.
Yeah, and that's Jarvis Bay there?
Yeah, just there's Jarvis Bay.
Wow.
Jarvis Bay is different airspace to Nowra, so you've got to be careful when you come down here thinking you can just go straight across Jarvis Bay.
Yep.
Because it's actually a different zone. If you zoom in on here, you'll see it's a different number.
Oh, okay, right.
And you've got to check to make sure it's not active, because it can be active even though Nowra's not.
I did my work experience as a naval helicopter pilot down there.
Oh, yeah.
Got to go up in the helicopters and they dropped me off at that little airstrip down there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know where I was. They just, jump out here, we've got to go out to sea, you're not allowed to come.
Yeah. We'll be back. Maybe.
Yeah. They left me with some emergency rations. Well, it's definitely a westerly because you can tell by the surf.
Yeah, and the drift.
And the drift, yeah.
So how do you tell by the surf how they're standing straight up?
Oh, you can see the spray.
Oh, when the spray's going back,
you know how clean it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is 7 Mile Beach.
And see the lines? It's like the lines, like they've been drawn with a ruler today. Yeah, you could really see it up this morning, up even 8 o'clock this morning. See down to the beach and all the spray was just standing up and going back out to sea.
Does that tell you what the wind is at the moment? Your little app or anything? Up here?
No, it could, but I don't think it does. You can figure it out. We've got a little bit of a tailwind. We're 115 knot ground speed. And
where's the ground speed?
Ground speed's on here, 115 knots. Okay. And your airspeed's 107.
Got the ground speed up here too?
Yeah. That's the one that's built into the plane.
So it might...
Problem is, for this to be able to do it, it's got to know the airspeed. So it can't work it out. But on the 230, because the Dynon knows the airspeed,
yeah, it'll tell you.
It calculates the difference there between the airspeed and the heading. It knows the compass heading, so it can work out the wind for you. Sea's a bit murky today. It's been really clear the last couple of weeks. I don't know if that's just shallow water down there or like a big rip coming out. It must be shallow because it's got the funny little, like the spume lines and things, the foam.
Yep.
Must be just an area of really shallow water.
Really got to have a lot of nose down trim.
Yeah, when it's up to speed. Yep.
When it's in cruise power.
Yeah, cruise power. It's probably 2/3 down trim. They're both a little different. This one seems to need just a little bit more than the other one does. I guess probably just the centre point of the trim. You done the cliff top walk along here?
No.
No have I. I have to do it one day.
Around Gerringong?
Yeah, you go from Gerringong up to Kiama.
Okay, right.
Or from Jirowa, actually, right through to Kiama, and there's a walking track. Just runs around the cliff edge all the way up.
Oh, yeah?
They've got the bypass finished now around Berry. They're still working on the bit on the other side, but...
Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, they just opened it last weekend, was it? Yeah, last weekend, I think. They opened up the bit round Berry.
I do a bit of work along 7 Mile Beach in the bush here, Bruce.
Oh, yeah. Cleary's own a property along here somewhere, or they used to, I don't know if they still did. At one stage they had a strip in here, they used to land one of their planes in there. So where are you regenerating? To do with the caravan park, or
just in that bushland along the
along the estuary there, or the river?
The beach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just on the beach, just on the behind the beach there.
What sort of stuff, like dune stabilisation or something? Is it?
There's a lot of asparagus in there and another weed called cestrum. So yeah, we had a job there for a few years. I'm not down there anymore, but.
So regeneration's not necessarily just replanting. You can be also cleaning out. Okay.
Usually weeding. It depends. I mean, if you got a site like that where there's a lot of native bushland already, no use putting in plants. You'll just get natives coming up once you remove the weeds.
Oh yeah.
But if it's a really degraded area where it's just all weeds, then typically we'll put in some plants.
Okay.
So it just depends on the site, really.
Yeah.
So that's Gerringong up there.
Yep. Just here.
That's grown, hasn't it?
Yeah, like all the
new
places.
there.
Yeah, see all the big development going on in the middle there.
Switch over to Wollongong.
Yeah, what you can do is you can hit dual, and you can continue to monitor Nara.
Yep.
But also be starting to listen to Wollongong.
The AWIS is broken at the moment.
Yeah, it's been down for about 3 or 4 weeks. The council keeps saying it's not our problem, we've reported it, but air services haven't got around to fixing it. Like a lot of things, I think they've laid off a lot of people. You know, they used to have contractors that would go, stuff like that would get fixed in a day.
So then how does the NAPES work? If like I get on NAPES and I'm getting the weather?
Oh, the weather, the actual weather station's still working. Of course, it's one of the, it also feeds to the bomb, you know, it's one of the bomb sites.
Yep.
But just the voice activated, the radio service is down.
So that's air services?
Yeah, that's different to the bomb weather, the actual weather site. Weather station, sorry. There's another private strip. See the bend here?
Yep.
And that road running straight up the ridge?
Yep.
And you can see on the right hand side a bit of a line running up the hill with like a little pile of, you know, who's been piling dirt up along it.
Yep.
That's guy the chief pilot, Ryan Roach, for the Skydive the Beach. His father owns that property, and they put that in as a strip. They've landed their Cessna in there a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of a dodgy approach, but it's a nice long strip. They've got plenty of room.
It looks quite steep.
Yeah, it slopes upwards a bit.
Wow. That'd be a challenge, especially coming the other way, stopping in time.
Yeah. You strips like that, 9 times out of 10 you'll land uphill. Even with a tailwind, you'll land uphill. So you nearly always take off downhill, land uphill.
So Ryan's the chief pilot,
He was the chief pilot. I'm not sure if he still is. He's
I think he's operations manager.
Yeah.
That might mean the same thing. Or
no, it is a different role, but I've got an idea that there's somebody else doing the chief pilot now, and he's doing that. He's also started up a thing called the Jump Pilot Academy.
Yeah. Yeah, I met him at the air show. Nice bloke.
Yeah.
He said he offered to me to go up in the jump plane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I've got to take him up on that.
Yeah. Yeah, you just got to be around at the right time, because I've got to put an extra seat in it.
Yeah. Come back to Wollongong, it gets bumpy.
Yeah. Welcome to Wollongong.
What's the go with that? When we left, it smoothed out. When we arrived, it gets bumpy again.
Yeah. You're back home. Suppose eventually this will all be built out, but at the moment it's a nice part of the world down here. Even Kiama, see all the new developments going in at the back there?
Yeah.
And up the hill and up towards Saddleback, towards the lookout.
So it's probably 3-4, so I could cut around here and join crosswind.
Yeah, just go around the back and then you've got your choice, then you'll get close enough to see.
So, too many people on the seat, huh?
No, everyone's gone home.
I should just give it...
No, there's someone going through.
Oh yeah, well spotted. So what am I, about 5 miles to the southeast?
Yeah, Kiama's 7-8 miles, so
8 miles to the
let's
southeast?
say by the time you get your call out, yeah, 5 miles southeast. Da-da-da-da-da.
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495, 5 miles to the southeast, maintaining 2,100 inbound Wollongong.
And just watch that airspeed again. It doesn't give you any clues, you don't hear, there's no wind noise, the plane doesn't feel like it's going fast, you just glance down and you say, gee, just picked up 30 knots.
Traffic, Stooge formation is a formation of 3 RVs, 10 miles to the southeast, tracking northbound coastal. We'll be well out of the way of Wollongong, currently at 3,800, Wollongong traffic.
Alright, 3 boys out for fly, they've got that other guy going south should really pipe up.
Well, he was a lot lower, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's going, you know, straight under them and
Still a good idea.
shortly, you should say something.
Can't see, were they 10 miles?
Yeah, that puts them down at Gerringong.
Right. Oh, it's a shame we didn't run into them, not physically, but especially a formation of 3.
Yeah, no, you'd have to shoot back out to the coast and wait for them to go through.
Probably get 5 to 3 anyway. We got your ex-student coming. Must be good for you to just go for a bit of a flight, hey?
Yeah. Nice to just wander around the patch. Every now and then I go up a moan. I usually just throttle back to about 65 knots and just cruise around, you know, along the edge of the escarpment, sticky beaking in everyone's backyard and stuff like that.
You ever put it on idle and just glide around?
Yeah, if there's a nor'east, I've been from right up near Stanwell Park all the way back here on idle, just following the escarpment down.
So basically gliding.
Yeah,
You're getting the lift all the way back.
Yep, that's all. It's just maintained height. You know, it doesn't really you don't really gain height, but just hold your height all the way home.
Alright, brakes testing off, engine T's and P's are in the green. Fuel is on, quantity is, where are we?
36%.
36%, what's that 13.2%?
That's the fuel flow.
Fuel flow.
It's not right though, it's done by software and it's actually inaccurate.
Documents, hatches and harnesses are secure. Runway is clear, suitable, and I'm not sure about the wind. Guess I'm assuming 3-4 here, aren't I? Which is...
Well, you can set yourself up to join crosswind and then just check the sock as you're getting closer. You can always
change your mind.
Change your mind, yeah, turn around.
But if we're at circuit height and it's the wrong runway...
But we're still on the dead side for both, which is good. Otherwise, you've got to go over the top to read the sock. But because that's the advantage here.
Dead side on for 2.6 as
yeah.
well. So really, you just keep the same attitude and take the power off to descend.
Yes, yeah.
There's 1300. Came down quick there. We must have got some sync as well. Oh, where is that sock? Can't really read it from here.
But position yourself to set up for
3-4.
Crosswind join on 3-4, and then you can check it as you go past. But going to be 3-4, or if it's swung more to the west, 2-6.
Is 10 miles north of the field,
like
3,700. We'll be tracking northbound about 15 miles before turning back inbound. We'll call again inbound, Wollongong.
It looks like it's straight down the strip there, isn't it? Maybe slightly favouring 3-4.
Yeah, I think it's probably closer to 2-6 than 3-4. Have a look at the smokestack.
It's definitely 2-6. But,
November Lima is overhead Kiama 8 miles to the southeast of Wollongong, 1,500. We're inbound tracking for a straight in approach runway 34 Wollongong.
2-6. Oh, we'll join 2-6 then. Oh, he's 3-4.
All right. Well, if you just turn now, you're already on downwind for 2-6. Yeah, you pick your best. So just.
Right. Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8.95 is turning downwind runway 26. Wollongong.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer on 2-6.
Yeah.
Alright, so get a parallel line, pick a target, and you know where you're tracking.
Yeah, I missed that last radio call. Someone was in final.
He's coming in from the south. Yeah, he's lining up to do a straight-in approach.
Oh, he's a fair way away.
Yep.
Alright, we've done the checks. Check the wind, definitely westerly. Fly down because we've got the wind right behind us. Right, flaps down, goes down.
He's trying to turn the lights on in the middle of the day.
Wollongong Airport, also mounting on.
You can't see. This is where you've really got to think ahead and make a bit of a mental picture of where you want to go.
Yep.
That should be far enough.
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495 is turning base runway 26, full stop, Wollongong.
Wollongong traffic, Warrior Uniform November Lima has joined a 5-mile straight-in approach runway 34 Wollongong.
Right.
On traffic, Jaspers 44905, 3,500 feet overhead Kiama, tracking northbound the coast of Wollongong.
I've got that standard threshold now.
Yeah, you got the full length back now.
Line is good, speed is good, profile looks pretty good.
Yeah, fraction high, but you're going to turn around into the wind, so that should be alright. Don't want to get any higher though. So if you've got any power.
That's all off.
Yeah, if you got
we've got a bit of a westerly here, so that runway is clear, clear to land. Wind is straight down the strip. You slip it a bit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's idle and it just...
Yeah, it just likes to fly, doesn't it? The glider version I was flying was a lot easier because you had spoilers.
Right, that looks alright, we're 60.
Yeah, just waiting up now. You'll often get a bit of sink here last minute over the
right,
railway
speed
station.
is good. Keep it idle.
Yeah, nice.
Eyes down runway.
Level off now. Now look right down the runway and just control your sink.
Warrior Uniform November Lima is a 3-mile final, runway 34, full stop Wollongong.
Right, so we're clear of that bloke. Brake, hold the nose up. Where's the point here?
Yeah, just exit here.
Hard to tell the lines.
Yeah, just
Right,
all big forecourt. You can just charge across any of it.
I just flared a little bit high there. Cabria's a...
Yeah, no, that's alright, but all you do then is just control your sink like you did, so it's good. Just give an update so that guy knows you're clear.
Wollongong traffic, Alpha 8495, this is clear of all runways, Wollongong.
So he should have been keeping an eye on you, seeing you were landing across his strip.
Yep.
Doesn't mean he was, but...
Well, I was kind of aware of what he was doing, but he was a bit further out, so...
Sometimes, especially He's been doing, I think he's doing joyride through all the air cadets or something. He's been here all day going up and down, so.
That was a good flight.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, an on Grumman Tiger, I think.
Nice not to have that squeal in the headset.
Yeah.
For the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's dry. Nuts.
We got traffic uniform November Lima, clear of all runways, Wollongong.
No, too rough for the jump plane?
No, they've been flying all day.
What's this?
Yep, that's good. Just don't go too far forward, or you run the prop off the good stuff back onto the gravel.
Clean up.
Good. Trim is cool. Transponder to fire. Flaps up. Switch off. Probe. Comms. Transponder. Shut down. Now the avionics go off first. Yes. And then the mags. Yes. And then the master. Yep. You got the time?